Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna talk about Brassavola orchids. So here I have a Brassavola orchid that is in need of some TLC, and I decided to take you along. So if that's the type of content you'd like to see here, stay here with me and let's dive into the world of these beautiful orchids. So how do I know that these plants need some repotting? First of all, I repotted a long time ago. It has been here for at least 3 years, and we spotted in organic mix. So usually organic mix will break down over time, it will become mushy, it will be very weird. If I look around the pot, I can see many roots that are brownish and look mushy. So I know that it's time to repot because I didn't repot for a long time, and the potting mix is very old. On top of that, I do have some maybe green algae because light was coming through the potting mix. I think I had some moldy, and the plant doesn't look, super happy overall. On top of that, this plant has been stressed due to pests. Thrips munched down all of the buds that this orchid tried to push down, so it hasn't been blooming for me for a while. And now I can see that some of the leaves, although Brassavola has very sturdy and succulent leaves, they have some signs of hydration. Like, for example, I do have some leaves. I just saw one on gallery. Where is this one? Yeah, there is some wrinkling in some of the leaves, which is not a good sign either. So, for this reason, I decided to repot this plant. If you notice that your potting mix has a foul smell, that's also another reason for you to actually repot Brassavola. So, what's so special about Brassavolas? Not only Brassavolas have some care that it's close to, let's say, Cattleya orchids, but in general, Brassavolas will have these punchy, succulent leaves that make them so unique. On top of that, they will have nighttime fragrance that also it is amazing. And their flowers are so gorgeous. Some of them will even have 2 different colors when they open and when they are actually fading. There are a couple of different things about Brassavolas, and it's hybrids that is so amazing that I super recommend you to try one if it is available in your area. So, what do we need for this repotting? Let's have the same things that we do with all of my repottings. Having a pair of pruners, I will use bark and sphagnum moss, a clean potting mix, and slow release fertilizers as well. I have a pair of pruners that I will just sterilize before we start. I need to use some alcohol and some fire, so be very careful if you're doing that at your home because it can be dangerous. So that's the first thing that I will do. And I will show you step by step how I repot this Brassavola. We'll have a good look into the root system, see what's going on inside this pot, and hopefully in the future we will have beautiful Brassavola blooms. This one is the kind of Brassavolas that will bloom multiple times a year, and it hasn't done for me. So it is time to actually explore and what's going on with this plant, and maybe in the future we'll definitely have some Brassavola blooms. So now, let's finally start the repotting. If you enjoyed this type of content, please hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. That's super important. Without further ado, change the camera, place everything towards the table, and let's start this repotting. So as you can see, I have some aerial roots growing out of the pot, and I have part of the new growths also growing out of the pot, so it's a good time to repot. While here, I don't have anything growing anymore. If you notice that this is transparent pot, and even so I can see there are so many dead roots inside this pot. So I just gently squeeze this pot to remove all of the roots, detach all of the roots, start pulling it, and I am hopeful that it will come out easily. These pots here, I bought them in maybe a convenience store, one of these stores that sell things for house. So they were not orchid pots, actually. I drew these holes. They are fine, but I find they are longer than the other pots. They are taller, actually, than other pots. What happens is I have to be very careful because the bottom tends to be much more wet than the rest of the orchid pot. So maybe that's one of the reasons why this pot's not doing amazingly well. It's been more difficult to remove this plant from its pot than I expect, but it will come out at some point. I have some roots attached to the bottom. Maybe that's the reason. Oopsie. Another thing that oh, this is not smelling really good. Okay, one of the reasons why I don't repot plants very often in front of the camera is because it's usually very messy. So it takes a long time between just removing the meats and repotting the plant and actually cleaning everything up. You will notice how messy this will get. So the next step here is just to simply grab everything. Make sure that I have all the potting mix completely out of this root. There is some mold spores and there are a ton of mushy roots. Not really happy with these, so I think it's a good idea to have it repotted now. It's very warm outside as well, so it's definitely the perfect time to have it done. And I watered my plants yesterday, so for this reason the potting mix is very much wet, which makes it even easier to work with the root system. But I'm a bit sad because everything that was inside, everything on this section here, everything seemed to be completely gone. So let's keep doing it, keep removing all of the bark and sphagnum moss. If you have a very healthy root system, it's a good idea to be very gentle with the roots, so you save as many roots as possible. In my case here, I don't have many healthy roots. I know that this part of my orchid, everything here is mushy and bad, so I'll start cutting it. I don't need to wait to cut the bottom of the orchid and keep trying to remove all of this. It'll just be more messy. How do I know that this is bad? It's simply because the roots are very mushy, they are brownish. They're very easy to see when orchids' roots are completely gone. Specifically this part here, the back. This is the part that all the growths are dead as well, so there is nothing alive here. I can definitely remove everything. And we keep doing this until I have only the new part of the orchid completely and the alive, the part that I want to keep. Let's see what will happen with this massive bowl of a Brassavola. To be honest, although it is very much mushy and gone now, this plant grew a lot in my care, so it was a very tiny Brassavola back then. But then with the pests and then with the mix becoming completely broken down, start to suffer a bit. But now that I'm repotting it, it should be better. So fingers crossed, we're gonna have a much healthier plant in the future. I will keep snipping out all of the orchids. I'll also show you some footage of this plant in bloom. I am almost sure that I filmed it here in What's in Bloom. It's a beautiful Brassavola that has like this star-shaped type of flower. It is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I like Brassavolas a lot. I think the flowers are really nice. And the fragrance, although it's a nighttime fragrance, even for people with fragrance sensitivity, it's I don't know, for me at least, is the kind of fragrance that I can stand. They are floral, they are fresh, they are really nice. So, yeah, one more reason to enjoy Brassavolas, the fragrance of quite nice. For me, I don't like some overpowering type of fragrance. That fragrance like, I don't know, there are some nighttime plants that their fragrance are very powerful. You can feel them from the distance and you don't feel anything else. They make me a little bit sick. Lion Graycan is beautiful, but I don't like the fragrance, for example. That's a very good example. So enough about fragrance of orchids. Keep doing it. And when I'm done with the roots, chopping out all of these roots, I think my plant has basically almost no roots. I'm gonna tell you in advance so you don't get sad when you see the final result. But I knew that, I could see from the pot, so this one's not a surprise to me. So when I finish cutting all of these roots, I just clean my table. I show you when I'm done. I'll clean my table and I will go to the sink just to wash it, remove the rest of the mix. And I will bring my tray and I'll show you what I have left. from my Brassavola. So I'm back here and I have the plant. Now I have a couple of divisions. So, oopsie. This one has 4 growths and has a new growth sprouting from here and has some live roots. Let's see this division here. Some of them is a bit worse than others. This one also has some live roots and has some new growths sprouting. And okay, let's go with the small one. The small growth here has no roots. This is dead as well. I'm a bit worried. Oh, the new growth is gone. Oh, I feel so bad. But there is a new growth here. So maybe this one will grow and will push out roots. This one is probably the most unlikely to survive because of the state of disease at the moment. And then this one's not looking good either. I do have a new growth here, but then this root's not looking good. Smooshy. I'll remove these. Some little pieces of roots, but I'm not really happy with this growth. Let's see what happens. I also removed some of the old growths like this one that is smooshy and it's not doing anything for my plant. It's not helping my plant to grow. I removed them from the plant, so now I have growths. And all of the growths somehow, they are able to push out maybe some new growths and to keep feeding my plant with just few exceptions. And now I'm finding the exceptions here. As you can see, this one is all dried as well, so there is no reason for me to keep it. So I remove this for my plants. So apart from that, I think we are all settled here. Let's start. So I need to find a way to keep all of these plants together in the middle of the pot, because all of them will grow new growths from different sides. It's going to be a bit messy, but hopefully it will work out. I am not sure, but it's going to be a bowl of a Brassavola like that. I have many different directions of growth and also I have many divisions. I don't know how the plant will do. I'm sure it will be a bit stressed. It's already stressed because it didn't have much to keep growing. And now I have a different pot. It's a big pot, but I drew holes. I have some moss here that I will add some sphagnum moss to the bottom, as I do with other orchids. The difference is that Brassavola, they are adapted to grow in warm places without humidity or maybe without rain all the time. So for this reason, and I live in a cold country, the thing that I would avoid doing here is to add a ton of sphagnum moss and then having a very water retentive mix and my plant having root rot when the new roots are starting to grow. So I want a mix that will add some humidity, but mostly have a ton of air circulating, so my plant will get humid, but also the roots will not suffocate. That's really important, because if the roots become suffocated, I will lose these roots, and I don't want to lose any more roots, specifically for a plant that's already very, very stressed. It's not the first Brassavola that I repotted here. I did repot others. I don't talk much about Brassavola because I don't have many Brassavolas, to be honest. I don't think they are the most popular. I don't think they are the most popular orchids out there, although they are super beautiful, elegant flowers, and that there are so many nice hybrids as well around. So do your research. I think it's worth having a look into them. The roots, they are fake. They are not super thin roots like Orchids. They are definitely very similar to Cattleyas. And on top of that, when they keep growing, they are not going to be super difficult. It's just finding the right balance between air and humidity, so we have healthy plants. I think that's the most important thing, more than anything else. Now what I have to do here is just to add some slow release fertilizer, to make sure my plant has enough to keep growing. I will add some few beads. I'm a bit worried about my plant because it's completely rootless, but I am hopeful that we'll push out roots in the future. Ideally, we should avoid these kind of situations. If you spot in time, just come and repot your plant, and it should recover much faster than when it's at this state here. but I am behind with most of my plants. I don't have time lately. It's become a bit more difficult. I think my life got a bit busier with work. So the plants were left a bit behind, and I'm feeling a bit guilty about it. But I'm sure I will get some of them this summer. I don't think I'll get to all of them, but I'll definitely get to some of them. My plant is fully repotted now. There it is. This is my Brassavola. I'm gonna clean the table, turn the camera, and just give you some extra tips and tell you how I keep looking after my Brassavola. So guys, here I have my Brassavola fully repotted, and it's looking really nice. Some final tips that I have for you is that I'm using rocks and pebbles here to stabilize my plant. When you have so many divisions and they don't have any roots, usually the plant will be very wobbly inside the potting mix. What happens is, if you are watering your plant and then you grab the pot, the plant will actually move around the bark. And if you have new root tips, they might get scratched and they might not grow as healthy as they potentially could. For this reason, it's always advisable to actually stabilize your plant when it doesn't have many roots. That's the case of this one. It's full of pebbles here. I remove them when I find that my plant's finally doing well. On top of that, I changed the pot. So I have one of these normal pots that is not a super tall pot either. So hopefully to help to balance the amount of humidity that I have at the bottom and towards the top of the pot, which will help the air circulating and it will help my roots to grow healthily. So on top of that, I do hope that some of the new growths will push out new roots soon and I will have a much healthier plant in the future. At the moment, it wasn't growing nice, so I was a bit worried about it and would be unfortunate to lose such a beautiful orchid. So that was everything that I want to talk to you about Brassavolas today. If that's the type of content you'd like to see here, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. It helps me a lot if you subscribe to my channel as well. If you feel a little bit extra, there are some affiliated links on this video, and also there is a super thanks down below. But that was everything that I want to tell you today, and I hope you have a lovely week. Bye bye.